What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Steve's Random Stuff. Hey, today I am back out in the garage, and it's time once again for the episode of Taiwan On. It's a kind of monthly episode I've been doing. Kind of go over the rod setups that I have for the upcoming tournament, and this month's Redwood Empire Bass Club tournament is at Lake Sonoma. Hopefully you caught some of those videos I just did from this last weekend up there for a couple days. Camped out overnight, and it was a pretty tough bite up there on Saturday, and it wasn't until Saturday night when I kind of got onto an area that was just holding a lot of fish, and I started putting them on the boat. And then the next morning, I did the same thing, moved to some other areas and caught fish, and just kind of found a good pattern. Hopefully that'll keep up this coming weekend. But I got a bunch of baits tied on. Some are just kind of backup baits just in case you really get stuff. But the challenge is it's a 6-hour tournament. Because Fish and Game requires anything after June 15th to be a 6-hour tournament to protect the fish, and that goes until September 15th. So the challenges with Lake Sonoma, there's been a lot of traffic up there, a lot of ski boats and recreational boaters. So the morning bite, the first thing in the morning should be okay, but as the day progresses towards 10 o'clock, after 10 o'clock, there's a lot more activity on the lake, and so it gets tougher to fish, especially the main lake areas. And there's, I think I want to fish. There just gets to be a lot more boat traffic, so it's going to be kind of a challenge catching fish as the day goes on. I'll just kind of start out this month, kind of getting ready, drinking a Mare Island hydraulic sandwich. As part of the Taiwan On, it's an India Pale Ale made in Mare Island, California, so not too far away. Really good IPA, really smooth. Not too hoppy, but good flavor, so check it out. I'll start out just with some top water. This is, some of you may know, this is a Vixen. This is the original Vixen. This is the OG, whatever you want to call it, the original one. This is a brand new bait that I had in a box. Here is the one I've been using. You can see kind of the difference between the two. This one is all chewed up and banged up. The bottom on this, the new one, you can see the pattern really well on there compared to the old one. So thought I'd just change it up, go with the brand new bait, put a new feather treble on the back. These don't come with a feather treble on the back. So not that I'm retiring this one, but I think I just go with a fresh bait and see if that makes a difference compared to the old reliable, I guess you can call that. So that's just the top water bait. I'll throw that for a little bit in the morning, see if I can catch something on it. If not, I'll probably just go switch over to my jigs. So that's the first one. I'll kind of go through some of the other baits, just by chance. I put on a Lucky Craft Stacy jerk bait. Something goes a little deeper, it gets down about 8 foot, one with the shad pattern. I've been throwing that Rapala bait, which gets also down to about 8 feet. But I wanted something a little more natural color, and the Stacy kind of fits that bill. So I can throw the top water bait and then throw that as a follow-up to see if I can't get something. Crankbait. If I get in some open areas, I want to throw a crankbait. This is just a Rapala DT10. I really like the DT10 baits. They're really consistent as far as their depth. They get, with this line, I think I'm running a 12 pound line. Gets down 10, 11 feet. And they're just really, I think I've caught a lot of fish on these baits, and I'm really, really like the way they run, really true. And I think a couple of my buddies that were up there last weekend did catch some crankbait fish first thing in the morning. Kind of moving on to couple options here. Instead of a swim bait, I'm throwing a Mr. B. This is the Mr. B swim jig. I got a Yamamoto single tail grub on there. We'll call this One-Eyed Willie because he only has one eye. One of them fell off, but just a swim jig, something a little different. Last week I did catch a fish on a swim bait, but I let that bait sink to the bottom on a point, and it just sat there for a minute while I got a drink of water or something like that. When I picked up my rod, fish was on there. So something like the swim jig It's weedless. I can let it sink on the bottom and basically dead stick it, drag it on the bottom, and maybe catch something that way. Before I get into my jigs, just some finesse baits. This is the Yamamoto. I'm going to call them Gary Yamamoto baits because the new Yamamoto company does not make these. This is a stretch 40 grub on a shaky head, 3/16 ounce shaky head, and the watermelon candy color. Also got a Ned rig. As the day progresses and maybe there's more boat traffic on there, I might need to finesse a little bit more. This is the Yamasenko or Ned Senko from Yamamoto. Going with a little bold color, this pumpkin, something kind of bright, just trying something different. I can always change that up if I need to, just on a Ned rig. Get that back on there. And then my other spinning rod, I got a drop shot bait. This is the Monster Shad color. I have about 2 or 3 of these baits left over. I'm not sure if we're ever going to get those baits back in at that Outdoor Pro Shop. I keep asking and they just don't know. But the Monster Shad color by a Robo Worm has always been a really good color, and I'm not sure why they're not making them anymore, but we'll see. One other bait, and this is probably on the bottom of the box just in case, just a football head grub. This is a Yamamoto Mermaid, and just on a little football head, 3/8 ounce, I believe it is. Just something again to drag on the bottom. And lastly, this is the bait that I'll probably be throwing most of the time. This is what I caught most of my fish on last weekend. This is the Mr. B jig. This is the purple sculpin color. I'll tell you right now that I did try some other colors. I broke one of these off, unfortunately, so I did try some different colors and could not get bit. So I don't know if it's just a color thing or maybe as the day went on and the boat traffic picked up, they just stopped biting. But I tried different colors. I tried a green pumpkin. I tried watermelon red. I tried I think a watermelon candy color. But they really seem to like this purple sculpin. You can see that there. One thing I do with these, when they come out of the package, Mr. B leaves the weed guards really long, and that way you can trim them. I trim about a, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, maybe even close to 1/4 inch off. I don't want the weed guard going past the barb of the hook. And so I take that and I fan it out. You can see it's fanned out, and I kind of angle it on the corners and just kind of trim a little off. It gives you a little better hook set, and it kind of fans it out and protects the hook a little better. So I got that paired up with a Yamamoto twin tail. This is the 3-inch size, I think, or the 2.5 inch. It's a smaller one. A lot of tail action with those legs, and they were just chewing on that last weekend. Like I said, I caught most of my fish on that bait right there. As a backup, if I want to go a little deeper, again, this is the Mr. B purple sculpin color. This is the deep water structure jig. Again, I'm taking that that weed guard, I trim it down, I fan it out. Now on this jig, the trailer, what I did this is the 4-inch hula grub, which I'm using, and I just cut the skirt off the hula grub. A little bit bigger profile. It doesn't have quite the action or the legs of the smaller bait. If I can show that to you really quick. So you can kind of see the profile. The larger one has thicker legs. They're not quite as long, and the smaller ones have a lot more kick, a lot more action. So I really like the smaller ones on that jig. But like I said, if I want to go deeper, this is the Mr. B deep water structure jig in the same color, a little bit bigger head, and I can get down there and work that bait in the deeper water. So that's about it. Like I said, it's a 6-hour tournament, so I'm not going to have a lot of time to be fussing around and changing baits. So I'll probably, once the top water bite disappears or doesn't materialize, I'll try the swim jig, and then I probably just go right to the jigs. That seems like to be what they wanted even first thing in the morning. last weekend when I was on there Sunday morning. I started like at 5:30, and the bite was pretty good for, I don't know, probably an hour or so. So hopefully that is still working. I'm going to go right back to that spot and hopefully catch some of those fish that are still there. They're good quality 2.5, even 3 pound fish. So they're biting it really kind of tentatively. I'd say is like sometimes you wouldn't even feel the bite; it would just load up and get heavy. Sometimes you feel a little peck on the bait, but then you set the hook and there's nothing there. And I think those are the smaller fish. So that's the plan. Heading over to the Warm Spring side, going to try and catch some of those fish on that point and go from there. Fish some of those rock walls in the channel between the Warm Spring ski area and the marina. Caught some fish in there last week as well along those rocks and around the island and stuff, and so ought to be interesting. Like I said, hopefully you can catch them early, because once all the ski buds out there, it gets really tough. So that's the plan. Hopefully it works out for us. But anyways, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. There'll be more to come. I'll be posting this probably late Friday night, just not to give away too many secrets before everybody else gets out on the lake. But I'll be posting some tournament videos as well. So anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I finally surpassed 400 subscribers in the last couple weeks, so let's keep it moving. Let's get up to 500 and beyond. Appreciate everybody who is watching. I did meet a viewer on the lake last weekend. I think his name was Nick, if I recall. Hopefully I got that right. He was at one of the campgrounds and recognized me from the video. So thanks for watching, Nick. Appreciate that, and good talking to you. Nice to meet some of the viewers. So, anyways, stay tuned for the tournament videos coming up in the next couple days. And thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.